Welcome back. We're here to cover the Divine Feminine Update. For those of you that don't know, I'm Yildiz from Yildiz Readings 5D, a psychic medium, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. Now, if you do need a booking, you can go to the links below. We also do host a Sage Inner Circle network. Now, we're going to take a look at this read and what I see psychically coming through for you guys. And, you know, one of the first messages I got, especially when I'm looking at this in its initial stages, we do have reversals. We do need to understand from the ascension process, which is something that I've been using for many years now, which is how transits directly can impact the ebbs and flows of our emotional waters. And I do see this coming up at the moment, but I do believe you are moving through a breakthrough. So the crowning energy, you know, the first subject matter I hear is subjects to do with love and sacrifice and, you know, almost being in like the hangman position. I do feel for many of you, it could be that you're looking in at it at the moment and feeling like you need to do something a different way. Could you be going through some shadow work still and feeling a little stuck? You could be. I don't feel you're remaining there. So if you are feeling quite down, I want you to know that it is something that is going to transition. And this energy is not going to be something that's going to remain. We are accelerating at the moment. We are moving into these brand new chapters. We could feel like things are turning upside down in order for us to move forward. But I want you to rest assured, this new chapter, this awakening of who you're going to be, is going to be a positive one, even though you could be facing some challenges at the moment. Now, the term reciprocity, you know, I do feel a lot of you guys are having a revelation, not only about the things that have happened to you, but also about how they shaped you, what didn't come to plan, what you want to return to. And yes, I would actually predict some of these karmic cycles are effectively really having a shake up. So if you are experiencing that in your life, it is to get you into alignment, even though it might not make sense right now. So how can that show up? That can be that you intuitively are picking up on it psychically. It could be to do with a connection and a partnership. And again, I do significantly see between now and the end of the year, there is a huge opportunity for people catching up, meeting, reconnecting, and parts of our path actually realigning to move us in an authentic direction. So I do see you, Divine Feminine, actually working through this at the moment. Again, I do feel as though there could be something that comes to light. You could be having multiple thoughts about what is being kept from you, what you're not seeing, really even tuning into people. So it's almost a little bit like X-ray vision. Now, I will be absolutely clear with you. When you are in a purgatory experience, you're not going to have your sixth senses on point. Some of you might have had hunches and they're coming to pass as we speak. And I think it's important to distinguish between the two, because there is a difference between I'm triggered and I'm very much in my feels, or I'm in my ego, i.e., or I'm being emotionally intelligent with the way I'm operating my life. And sometimes that emotional intelligence can come through extremely strictly saying, I'm going to abstain from my counterpart, I'm going to abstain from this or that. The emotional intelligence is the reason why. Now, if you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z for a given reason, that's a different thing. You're being conscious about the direct choice, but you're also being conscious that things can change, and should they so, you will directly look at that and make a different decision. But at the moment, there is this requirement, and I see this as a huge kind of message, right? And trust me, I'll be using this myself. I'll be like, okay. And why do I say that? When we look at the overarching energy, both as we're transitioning, we have the emotional intelligence on the top row, and at the bottom row for the outcome card, we actually have the card in reverse. And it's about thoughts, you know, mind mastery. And I think sometimes, like I said, navigating difficult circumstances, feelings are feelings, thoughts are thoughts. Feelings and heart-centered energy is your passion, it's your vitality, it's who you are. Both of those polarities exist. But it can't be, I'll just tick that box and I won't tick the other. And that doesn't mean to say we're living in a perfect world, but I do think you're unpacking something at the moment. And I feel where it does come to this connection, your path, where you're going in your life, we might have had the huge ups and downs. We may have had beginnings, endings, delays, resurfacing of old feelings. And where we're moving to now is going to be pretty bold. So we do need to hold on to our hats. We are going to have that forward momentum. And I feel as we push through, the clarity that you're directly getting is really going to serve you. Yeah, I really do not want you to underestimate yourself. I do think you're trying to be as realistic as possible. I feel that you having faith that you are going to be rising above situations, that by making intelligent decisions. And you can have a lot of ideas at the moment, and I really want you to journal what they are. This can be down to your dream state, messages in a bottle that you're receiving. It could be signs and synchronicities. If you find yourself being pushed down a particular way in your path at the moment, trust the instincts of the vibrations of what you're getting. On one side, there could be this huge rejection of a way a path's going, and it could be that you just need to practice a little bit more patience, that there's a bigger picture at hand, and it's trying to position you and help you, but we can't see that sometimes, especially if we're very resistant to it. On the opposite side of the scale, what I'm also seeing is, just because we're emotionally intelligent, it doesn't prevent things from coming at left field. And I think sometimes we just need to be thinking on our feet, observing situations and addressing them as they come. I do feel, for those of you that have worked through this already, I do feel you're picking up on a lot of people's energy at the moment. And for some of you, you could be observing this quite silently. It's observing the frequency of the collective. I think that for some of you, whatever the plan is, whatever the feeling is, you have an acknowledgement of something. This could be even at a psychic level, especially with this outcome. What I'm getting is, for some of you, you're going to come full circle into complete certainty. And it almost will feel completely strange to be like, wow, okay, where does this confidence come from? Where does this surety come from? It's not always something somebody says to you. It's almost like, to the true core, through your bones, you're just going to have a knowingness. And I want you to really lean into that, because I do feel it could be something that you're actually missing here. And I think when you lean into it, your inner authority is going to speak to you, and it's giving you a message in a bottle. And I don't get it's a negative thing. I get it's a positive thing. I definitely do think you're moving through a transition. How you look, how you feel, how you communicate, where you want to be. You could be seeing the fives for some of you. If you have felt that so much has been stuck, by the end of this month, there's going to be a total different frequency. Your chapter, your life, your soul path is going to be moving. So hold on tight. If you do need added bookings, you can go to the link directly below. Each one of these are out right now, so you can jump through and see the masculine, feminine, and karmic third party. Otherwise, if you do need a booking, the links are all directly below, and we can look at your individual path and help you transition through this process. Separately, if you do want to join our Inner Circle membership, you can. It does provide the pre-release content, soul coaching support, super chats, and more. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go through to the website where it has the landing page for it, and you can sign up. Take care, and I'll see you next week.